Welcome to Tech Sunday Funday, your weekly tech digest. This week is a big one. The Consumer Electronics Show has just kicked off in Vegas, where we're seeing companies reveal their latest and greatest technologies. And we're already seeing trends starting to emerge. Anyway, let's kick it off with the Apple Vision Pro. Apple has finally announced the launch date for their much anticipated mixed reality headset, the Vision Pro. For a quick recap, it features a dual micro LED display, each with a resolution that's slightly higher than 4K. It has the ability to seamlessly switch between augmented reality and virtual reality. You can control it with your eyes and fingers. And it's powered by an Apple M2 chip and starts at $3,499. The base model offers 256 gigabytes of storage, and if you're a glasses wearer like myself, then you can pick up a pair of prescription lenses for $149. It's available to pre-order in the US from January 19th, and it starts shipping February 2nd. My excitement level is a 10 out of 10. I think this is going to be a breakthrough moment for technology. And I think its success might shape the future of mobile computing as we know it. Will this be the technology that replaces all of our computing devices? Or will it be a successor to the smartphone? I can't wait to see what happens. I have a soft spot for projectors, but they've always been a bit too cumbersome and fiddly for me to personally own one. However, Samsung's latest flagship projector, the Premier 8K, seems to solve some of the common frustrations with owning a projector. The Premier 8K, not surprisingly, has an 8K resolution and boasts a brightness of up to 4,000 lumens, making it suitable for even the brightest of rooms. And it can project a screen of up to 150 inches. What really sets the Premier 8K apart though is its wireless HDMI connectivity, which allows you to plug in all of your HDMI inputs into a wireless One Connect box, which then beams your content to the projector. This reduces cable clutter and gives you flexibility in the positioning of your setup. Having a good sound solution for projector has always been a bit difficult due to their size and position in the room. The Premier 8K doesn't solve this, but it has 100 watt speakers that are apparently capable of creating a theater-like 8.2.2 Dolby Atmos experience. But I'm not convinced. My excitement is a 7 out of 10. I still think for most people a nice big TV is the way to go. And I'm not convinced that the speakers in this are going to sound as good as even a mid-range soundbar. But for those who want the true cinematic experience, at least visually, this looks killer. If you're enjoying this series, then a like and subscribe is the best way to support the channel. If you've watched my channel before, you'll know that I love OLED screens. I think they offer the best viewing experience of any screen technology, at least for now. The first big major trend of 2024 that I'm seeing is OLED monitors becoming more mainstream. Almost every major PC manufacturer is making OLED monitors this year. This includes HP, Alienware, LG, Acer, Asus, and more. All of these monitors are definitely more gamer oriented, with high refresh rate screens, anywhere from 240Hz all the way up to 480Hz, depending on the brand and model you go for. The two most popular screen sizes we're seeing this year are 27 inches and 32 inches, which is super refreshing, as in previous years we were only seeing massive super wide screens, where only those with mile-long desks could accommodate them. My excitement is a 9 out of 10. I've been waiting for a nice OLED monitor for years now, and it's great to see so many manufacturers jumping on board. In recent years, we've seen an influx of portable games consoles, like the Steam Deck, the ROG Ally, and Legion Go, and they all have one thing in common. They all have AMD chips. Well, this changes today with their MSI Claw, which runs an Intel Core Ultra chip. It's too early to say how this compares to its AMD-based competitors, but with Intel's huge efficiency gains in their latest chips, this could be a compelling product. Design-wise, it looks very similar to the other portable games consoles we've seen. It has a 120Hz 1080p IPS screen, a 50 watt-hour battery, and Hall effect joysticks. My excitement is a 7 out of 10. The device itself isn't all that exciting to me. It's a familiar design that we've seen before. But what does excite me is the chip inside of it. It could be terrible, but it could also be incredible. Only time will tell. Fun and quirky tech is a dying breed, so it's so refreshing when a big company like Samsung releases something so utterly ridiculous. The Samsung Ballie is an AI-equipped ball-shaped robot that can project stuff on the floor, the wall, or ceiling. Some use cases include projecting a fitness class on the wall, or entertaining your pets by projecting pet-friendly entertainment. It also doubles as a smart home assistant, so you can turn off the lights or play music. It has a built-in camera, so you can use it for surveillance, or if you want something to follow around, it can do that too. My excitement is a 3 out of 10. I just think this is going to be one of those robots that ends up throwing itself down the stairs. So many laptops announced at the Consumer Electronics Show, but there was one series of laptops that caught my eye. The Asus Zephyrus G14 and G16. The Zephyrus G series have always been a de facto recommendation for anyone looking for a well-rounded gaming laptop, but they never had the same appeal as the Razer Blade laptops. But the new G14 and G16 receive a very welcome redesign. The G14 and G16 offer aluminium bodies, OLED screens, larger trackpads and keyboards, along with better speakers and the latest AMD CPUs. The G14 has a 120Hz screen and can be configured up to an NVIDIA RTX 4070, while the G16 has a 240Hz screen and can be configured up to an NVIDIA RTX 4090. Overall, a fantastic update to a much loved laptop series. My excitement is an 8 out of 10. It's fantastic to see this level of refinement from a gaming laptop. The build quality and design look fantastic, and it doesn't scream gaming laptop. Great work, Asus. There aren't too many tech announcements that truly surprise or intrigue me anymore, but out of nowhere, the Rabbit R1 has just done that. The Rabbit R1 is a standalone AI device that is meant to offer an alternative to the app-based smartphones we've become accustomed to. Instead of running apps, the R1 runs a large action model, which can be trained to perform a diverse series of actions that we would normally do through multiple individual apps. Think of it as a super app that can do everything. This includes basic tasks such as ordering an Uber or playing music, but in theory, it's capable of doing so much more. It has a dedicated training mode, where you can teach it a repeatable action, such as removing a background in Photoshop. The possibilities are endless. It's available to pre-order now at $199. My excitement is a 10 out of 10. It's still early days and we don't actually know how this is going to work in practice, but it does provide an interesting and intriguing vision on how we might interact with the world in the future. Folding phones have been around for a good 5 years or so now, but we haven't seen that technology really make it to other technologies such as tablets or PCs. And the ones we have seen look incredibly clunky, and I wouldn't want to use them. The new Asus Zenbook Duo, while not having a screen that folds, it does have 2 screens, and it looks like a device I'd actually want to use. It has 2 14-inch, 120Hz, 3K OLED displays. With just one of those screens, those specs would have been impressive. It has a full-size keyboard that can either sit on the bottom screen, turning the device into a traditional laptop, or it can be detached and used wirelessly for a dual screen setup. So why on earth would you want 2 screens inside a laptop? Well, I think it'll be a huge productivity booster, being able to have 2 full-size windows. Specs-wise, it has an Intel Ultra 9 processor, 32GB of RAM, and 2TB of storage. Despite having 2 screens, the price is very reasonable, starting at $1,499 or £1,699. My excitement is an 8 out of 10. I'm always keen and excited to see new form factors, and the laptop form factor hasn't really changed for years. So it's interesting to see a brand like Asus retain both the traditional form factor and allowing it to expand into something completely different. Sometimes you just want your technology to sort of blend into the background. And the Samsung Frame TV has always been a great example of this. When not in use, it turns into a picture frame and blends into the environment. Building on the success of a Frame TV, Samsung's latest product, the Music Frame, aims to make speakers that blend into the environment. It's a square speaker that's customizable with physical prints and kind of looks like vinyl artwork. And that's not a bad thing. I think it looks rather nice. My excitement is a 6 out of 10. I completely understand the appeal of making technology that blends into the environment. At least for things like TVs that kind of look ugly when they're not in use. But there are speakers that are genuinely beautiful that I would be proud to showcase. So I don't think this is necessarily the answer. So that's your tech digest for the week. And what a jam-packed week it was. What piece of technology excited you the most? For me, it was the Rabbit R1. It's the most intriguing technology I've seen in a long time and paints an interesting vision of how we might use AI in our everyday lives. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and have a wonderful, chilled and relaxed Sunday.